I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad,
yeah.
Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Chip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious, I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, gon' live it up. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, I'll live it up on the attack. Baby, I'm bad, I just wanna get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad, do it no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad, baby, I'm bad. Who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You ain't see me activated, you better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the engine. I'm never second guessing, I just do what I was destined. Cause I feel I got the blessing, persistence and obsession. That's how you keep progressing, I already learned that lesson, yeah. I'm changing who I am, I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving, you can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again. No fear, see clear, you deserve to be great. I know it feels like things get in your way. Push through those walls and the others will fall. Sit up, stand tall, you can get through it all. I need some energy, anxiety's no friend to me. I have a short memory, I don't really remember things. That's how I move on, that's how I stay strong. A new day's on, I'll keep moving right along. And I feel like the pain in the past, it needs to stay I wanna feel like I'm a new person. I wanna have clear vision and purpose. And I feel like the patient lasts. If you can move on and past the things that make you feel bad, and you can change in your brain, I'm certain. I've done it before, and man, I'm not perfect. I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again. You can't stop what's moving. You can't stop what's moving. I'm changing my life, and I won't look back ever again.
I wake up every minute with the fever dreams. I push the mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find
What is going on, fam? Welcome back to another episode of the Daily DGen, hosted by your boy TradeFly, bringing you some of the most important market news as well as technical analysis that you can actually use. Bitcoin currently holding over $109,000, looking pretty strong right now. Market is looking good overall. We did get some relatively bullish news in terms of the economic data. We'll talk about that in a little bit here, but we got to get to the charts. We got to look at the charts today. Currently still in that trade from yesterday, not looking all that great, just down a little bit right now. I really missed an opportunity, a little bit mad at myself. I slept in today. I think the night work has finally caught up with me. I slept in and I missed an opportunity to essentially ladder into the position. Just like I said, I would be in the positive right now had I done that. So maybe I should have put a limit order in. But here nor there, we'll take a look at it and we will talk about it. It's about being open and transparent and letting you guys know exactly what I am doing. And that I think is probably the most important part. And we will get to the charts as always. But first thing I'm going to do is say what's up to you guys in the chat, because as I say every day, you're the reason I do it. So, my man username is in the chat. What up to you, bro? Thank you for being here. J Trading, what up to you, man? Hope all is well. He's one of our paid analysts in the Discord. Go check it out. We shielded enough yesterday. We showed you the proof. All right, we got the P&Ls looking green. We got the setups. They are dropping some fire signals. That's all I got to say, man. And we got a lot of free TA too. So come on over to the Discord. Alexander G's in the house. What up to you, lady? Of course, the best mod in the space. Thank you for being here. Rashad, hi. How are you? Good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Said what up to Crypto Squid, another one of our dudes in the Discord, just laying them fire signals, man. He's got a nice little Bollinger Band strategy that he uses, and he's been quite successful with it. So again, come on over to the Discord, check him out, man. Again, it's not all behind a paywall. All right, so we are very split, and then our paywall is pretty small, man. It's only $19.99. All right, here we go, keeping it going. Andrew Cameron in the house. GM brother, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Of course, all set. Said let's fly. Let's go. You know it. Call me Dave. Good day to you. Good day to you, sir. Thank you for being here. All right, scrolling down a little bit more here. I think that about wraps it up. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. First up is going to be the total market cap, sitting at 3.37 trillion. That is up 0.91%. Fear and Greed Index currently neutral at 54. Bitcoin dominance at 64.5%. Bitcoin at 109,466. Got a nice little bounce at about 109. I was looking at that this morning, but over 24 hours, it's only down 0.16%. Nothing too crazy. Ethereum is at 2577. That is up 0.34, all 0.4 now. Okay, so pretty much neutral. All right, not too big of moves over the last 24 hours. Last 7 days, though, different story for Ethereum. That is actually up almost 6%. So looking good for Ethereum. It is making some better moves. XRP looking good at 2.26. Let's go over to the crypto bubbles. It's kind of a mix mixed bag out there right now. You can see half and half. Some of the altcoins are pulling back a little bit. SWI's in the positive 2.2. Fartcoin is at 5.2. We did say, remember SWI we were talking about, it's kind of at a line in the sand right now. So maybe we'll look at that chart here a little bit later if you guys remind me. Bonk is up 7.3%, and TIA is up 5.7%. What else we got? HBAR looking all right, 2.3%. Things that are moving in the wrong direction. You got Arrow and SEI. That is down 4.7%. Form is down 4.1%. Everything else, man, it's like plus 3, minus 3. Seems to be the going rate here in terms of where we're at with the crypto bubbles. Over to the liquidation heat map. You can see liquidity is coming in. Now, don't get too wrapped around this to be like, hey, like we got to go up here. This liquidity is coming in after the move, right? So once we got a very clear rejection, all right, we had a very clear spot at 110.5, 110.4, right around that area. We talked about it yesterday on the show. And that is kind of the area I was talking about. I was like, man, that was my spot where I wanted to ladder in. I woke up about 45 minutes too late, unfortunately. So we got a clear rejection off of that area, and then we pulled back. All right, so this liquidity is coming in after that rejection. Understand that, but yes, it is hot now. There is more liquidity to the top side than to the bottom side. Now, the thing that you really have to look at too, I say that the hotter spot is to the top side of the price action. But there is, I would say, probably more liquidity to the bottom side in terms of, like, if you're looking at the range of liquidity here, you got two pretty decent spots where there's kind of two ranges, right, where you see liquidity sitting. I would say in combination, if you were to take these two spots or these two areas of liquidity, there's probably more liquidity to the downside. But the hotter spot right now, the closest alligator to the boat, if you were going to go chase some liquidity, is actually higher. We do have that marked on the chart. We'll get over to the chart right now. Looking at that, we did leave this liquidity up, and this was from yesterday. So let's go ahead and actually update that. And I think the point of leaving that up was to say, hey, cool, we are looking at that liquidity. That liquidity is now off of the table. So our new spot that we could look at, I'd say probably the hot spot is... Man, it's kind of tough, but we're going to take this like lower swath here. We'll say 110.6, okay? 110.6. Let's go ahead and update that for you guys here. 110.600. Boom, there you go. I did update the lower side of the liquidity as well. All right, so what does that really do? And that makes a lot of sense, right? That's where we got our rejection. You can see it on the chart here. You got your rejection. This horizontal, we talked about this yesterday. I was like, hey, if we push up, this is where I wanted to ladder in. Again, I slept in, about 45 minutes too late, unfortunately. That would have put me in the positive right now for that short that I took. It is what it is. It is what it is. Now I am at the mercy of this area of support, this previous day low at about 106, which was about where I got in, right? Because remember, I was playing this trend line. We went up, we hit that trend line. I was like, okay, cool. I'll take a little short off of that trend line. We got a little initial rejection there, but it wasn't a very clear rejection on any of the larger time frames. It was just like, hey, cool, I see the reaction. I should have waited, right? Liquidity was up here. I should have waited for that liquidity to get cleared out. That is part of the deal usually when I get into an entry. So I will take that one, right? Like I will say like, hey, I probably didn't necessarily follow my typical pattern for getting into an entry, and that has come around to bite me. So you can see, follow your own rules. It is what it is. I got to own it. So not a big deal, right? Not a big trade. It wasn't big capital. Ultimately, you don't like being upside down in anything, but I say only, to you, it could be more, but it's about $100 right now that I think we're sitting in the negative. But again, we're just kind of at the mercy here, this previous day low. So we did come down, right? We got a rejection and we got a nice little bounce in that area too, right? So it does look like we got that breakout retest of the upper trend line here. All right, we talked a little bit about that breakout retest. And I mean, we pretty much nailed everything. Unfortunately, I wasn't on the charts yesterday. Had to go to a birthday party for my homie Crew. So happy birthday, dude. But I was with my family, and nice breakout retest. Moved right up to the area of resistance. I mean, it was all to a T. It looked beautiful. But that's where I should have laddered in. So this is kind of currently where we're at. We're really sitting in the middle of the range. We are below the previous day high though. All right. So for me right now, there's probably a little bit of hopium. Come back down to like 108.6. I did have a little opportunity yesterday to get out of that. But we just pretty much bounced perfectly right off of the top of the range there. And then we worked our way up. So, it's kind of a wait and see for me right now. My line in the sand is this area of resistance here. If we get through this area of resistance, we look like we're going to have a breakout. That's it. I'm done. You cut your losses, you move on, and you fight another day. That's pretty much where we're at right now with that. But, we got to we got to wait and see now. We're at the mercy of the support and resistance levels right now, I guess, or the crypto gods, we'll say. But the market's looking good overall. Okay, overall, this looks good. Structure looks good. Nice little push up. I like to see a little cool off, push up again, and then you like to see that cool off right now. So we did retest the high. That looks good. Of course, you got this high as well where you saw rejection. So this is a pretty clear area. This previous day low right now is a nice little horizontal showing you where you have both support and resistance in that area. So looking good. I think that's a pretty solid area of support and probably a pretty solid area for me to break even and get out of this trade that I'm in right now. So hopefully we come back down, retest the trend line, previous day high. That'll probably be where I say, all right, cool. I'm going to cut it right here. Just break even, and we'll just walk away and see what happens at that point. That's probably my thought process right now. Now, to the contrary, right? Like, let's say we do lose this level. All right, that's probably going to be me waiting to see then, okay, what do we do? And when I say that, like, hey, do we come down? Do we get a little breakout retest of this low here? And do we retest it and then look for a little move down? Now, the problem with that is the value area low, is pretty much right there. You're not talking about a real big move. Let me get rid of that. I don't know if that's going to be worth the time or not. Let me see here. That's about a 1% move. So, yeah, I guess, yeah, you could get a scalp out of that one. But that's going to be short-lived. And, right now, I would say on the shorter time frames, if you're talking about the hourly, the 4 hour argument is that it's looking pretty good in terms of the structure. It's just we're getting up to significant areas of resistance, and that's where you have a little bit of a pause. So if you're going to take a short when you have bullish structure, you got to get in, you got to get out. Be quick about it. Just let be quick right now. Okay, so do not stay in. I wouldn't stay into a short position very long. Just right now, given the structure of the price action. So that's just me. Now, if we start breaking some of these key levels, all right, you start making some lower highs, lower lows, then you start thinking about it a little bit differently. Maybe, once you see that and you come back up for maybe that second retest, then you start thinking about, hey, maybe I can take a little bit longer, a little bit more of a short right now. But right now, I would say the bias would be towards pullbacks. All right, have a little pullback, find your area, some of your key areas here, and I would say the bias would probably be towards longs, to be real with you. Right now, this is right now breaking out of this trend line. That's bullish. All right, so that's the way that you got to think about it. Just understanding that you have a lot of resistance, like you have significant areas of resistance above you because we're getting up towards all-time high. We're only, what, $2.5 grand? Yeah. So yeah, $2.5 grand away from all-time high, right? So that's the balancing act right now. You guys know what I'm gonna do if we get up to 112 though. I'll probably take a quick short. That's just I always go fishing up by the all-time high, no doubt about it. All right, so in terms of what you have below you, you got a lot of support below you. Okay, let's start there. Okay, so you have the trend line, you have the value area high, you got the POC. All right, so value area high currently sitting at 107.4, your POC sitting at about 104, value area low about 102.5, and then you have all of your weekly pivots. All right, your current week pivot, your previous week pivot, your monthly pivot, all below you right now. Okay, all below you. So you got a lot of things that are going to act as support. As well as just you got some price action that's pretty clear as well when you're looking at horizontals. All right, so that area where the weekly pivot is, the current week pivot is about 105.5. That's a nice little zone right there, horizontal level. So there's just a lot. And then on the hourly, let's see, you are over the 200. On the 4 hour, you are over the 200, and on the daily, you are definitely over the 200. Okay, so when we're looking at some of these pullbacks, again, the support's all below you. It looks good. It looks all right. All right. So we talked about some key levels here in terms of if we do get a pullback, 98. Keep an eye on that. I'd mark that on your charts. 95, probably about 96 to about 95.2 is another little zone. So really that whole area could act as support here. And then all the way down here, if you guys are new or just tuning in for the first time this week, you have your quarterly pivot, your previous month pivot, and then you have the golden pocket of the current move. Okay, so low to high, your Golden pocket is right here at about 88 to 87. Don't see that happening anytime soon, just to be fully transparent with you, but mark it on your charts in case we do get that pullback. If you get that pullback, what are we looking for? We're looking for areas where we can get some price action, right? So that could set you up for some trades. And then of course down here at about 78 to 80K, that is where I'd be more enticed to go a little bit larger capital, low leverage. So keeping those zones just fresh with you guys. I'll probably rehack those quite a bit, only because, you know, you got to have those lines. That's how you get ahead of the charts. A little bit harder to get ahead of the chart when you're looking at the top side, because you get over all-time high. What are you in? You're in price discovery. At any point, somebody can take some money off the table there. So you're at the mercy of somebody saying, all right, I'm going to cash out, or even an institution saying, hey, we got some big profits here. You know, it might be time to take a little money off the table and, you know, bring that back to the company. So that being said, I think I just moved that. There you go. You know, this trend line here, if you're looking at some, you know, top side movement, or at least area of resistance here, you're going to have to extend this out just a little bit, because as time goes on, this is going to go a little bit up and right. So you're looking probably a little bit closer to about 114.6 to about 115. You could find a little bit of resistance there. Just based on the two highs, right? So we haven't actually come up there and tested that level yet. Again, we did have a fib extension. Let me see if I can dig for that. You know what? I'll just do a new one. Let's go ahead and give you guys some levels there with the fib extension. But, you know, this is a little bit tougher, right? A little bit tougher for you guys to come up with some levels when you're using fib extensions. I mean, right there, it looks like the 382 is aligning with about your all-time high. So that's about 112. You got your 0.5 at about 117, and your 618 is at about 121.5. Okay, so that's, you know, a few levels for you to look at. Like if you're looking at a rejection, as this extends out though, you would see some confluence between this trend line. So let's say this is a slower move up and right. That would give you a little bit of confluence between the 0.5 as well as this trend line. That would probably be enough for me to say, hey, you're going to see an initial rejection in that area. It doesn't mean it's going to hold up forever. It's just like, it's an area psychologically that people will be looking at, that are trading or that have a little bit bigger money, right? Other people are doing fib extensions, other people are doing trend lines, other people are looking at that. That's why I usually say you'll probably see an initial rejection. And a lot of times you do, right? Like a lot of times, like this same thing here. We talked about this trend line here, initial rejection. We talked about this area of resistance right here, initial rejection. Like that's what you see over and over again. Even the value area high, when we had that big push up, you got an initial rejection. You didn't have a close over top of it for a while. And then what happened? You got over top of it. So it was both support and resistance before ultimately making that move up. So again, here you go. You come down to your weekly pivot, come down to your moving averages, and you get that bounce. Okay. So they don't ultimately always hold up per se, but they do a lot of times give you some price action, and that's why we like to identify these key levels before the price action gets there. So there you go. There's a kind of a top down of the Bitcoin price action right now. Let's go ahead over to our next segment. That is going to be the one you guys love, and that is the Daily Degen. All right, here we go. So we got it up. Like I said, kind of in the red right now on my short, but that's all right. I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna hold out right now. Like I said, I got my line in the sand right up here at about 110, probably about 110.5 or so, and we will see how price action interacts when we get back up there. Not looking all that great right now, but that is not the story right now. Let's go find ourselves a poop-poop-a-doobie, shoop-shoop-a-doobie coin. Let me see what you guys are at right now. You guys are 56% Moon, 16 votes, and then 44% Doom. All right, so you guys are trending towards a long position right now. Let's see what Moon Dying is doing. All right, so you're currently underneath of your VWAP and your 200. Not sure I would tell you guys the long end of that. I know Swee's not quite a poop coin, but let's see what it's doing. Under the 200. Whiff. You got a nice gap there. So even though it's under, you got an opportunity to close that gap a little bit. And that would bring you up to the 618, close that gap. I like that. All right, let's do that. We'll do whiff. We'll put 5 on it. You know how we roll here. Got a 20x long going on whiff. Daily DJ, and just give you guys the opportunity to vote. You guys are voting for a long position right now. We don't do a lot of TA on it. We just kind of quickly look at it to see, like, do you have a fighter's chance? Fighter's chance. You guys did win yesterday. 6% win for the good guys. And we're going to go ahead and open this up. We're in there. It's a low capital play. $5 on it. Ain't no biggie. But here we go. We're in there. It is open. So let's go ahead and get over to the news. We'll talk through that a little bit real quick. And yeah, spinning bubbles. That's what I've been seeing for pretty much the whole time. But that is okay. Gist of this is today, U.S. economy added 147 jobs in June, higher than expectation. Okay, so you're probably saying, hey, what does this mean, right? And how do we tie this all in together? Well, the big thing is, if you have more jobs, right, or if you added the more jobs, right, it's basically giving old Chair Powell a little bit less incentive to cut rates. All right, because they're saying that the jobs or the job data is pretty stable right now. If you're adding jobs and then your unemployment is kind of roughly staying where it should be, the incentive right now to lower the rates, they're basically, the argument is like, hey, like that soft landing narrative is still there. It is not driving into stagflation right now, even though that was a concern. The data is telling us something a little bit different. So it kind of fights the narrative of Orange Man right now in terms of him saying, hey, Powell's doing such a bad job. But he'll probably take credit for this, right? That's probably what's going to happen. He'll probably take the credit for it. But here nor there, that actually fights against the case for lowering the rates here in the near term. So if you want to see the rates come down, this is actually... it's ass backwards the way it works. It's not the data you want to see. Who would have thought? All right. So that being said, Senator Loomis proposes a crypto tax bill with $300 de minimis rule, ends double tax on mining, staking, and aligns digital assets with traditional finance. There you go. That is good for crypto. That is bullish. We'll see if it actually passes. We'll kind of continue to monitor that situation and see if it makes any progress. But at least the bill has been introduced, right? So that is good news. Let's go ahead and get over to our old FUD segment. Half of you probably will not care about this, but let's go ahead and sound the siren. All right, there you go. Foreign investors are diversifying out of the U.S. stocks. Investors from overseas withdrew $5 billion from U.S. equity ETFs over the last month, the largest outflow in at least 3 years. This follows approximately $5 billion in net purchases during May. By comparison, foreign investors poured in a whopping $24 billion into U.S. stock ETFs in November 2024. This is all despite the S&P rallying 5% over the last month and hitting an all-time high for the first time since February. Global investors are diversifying away from U.S. stocks. All right, so what you're probably seeing is we're getting up towards all-time highs, right? You have some unstable economic data. We could probably agree on that. The tariffs, all of that nonsense. That basically makes them a little bit more wary is the correct word there, of continuing to invest into the U.S. stocks, right? And you're getting towards all-time highs. So seeing a rotation and do something that they see more stable, risk on, risk off, you kind of think in terms of that, is probably what's happening there. But I mean, this almost seems like a little bit of a twist. And the reason I say that is because if you look at the numbers, 24 billion in comparison to 5 billion. Yes, you're seeing a little bit of a move, but like that's significantly different, right? We're not talking about 20 billion coming out. We were talking about 5 billion. That's kind of, if you do the math, right, that's a smaller percentage. So I don't know if this is a nothing burger or not, but you could argue that you're starting to see elements of, a reversal in terms of the money flow, right? And that's kind of how you try to get ahead by like, all right, what are our indicators? What are we seeing? What's happening right now? And if you're seeing, investors starting to pull some money out or putting it into different places, that could be your first kind of indication, of things that are, I guess things could start to change. All right, so there you go. Nice little article for you guys to keep in the back of your minds there, but not too surprised. Like I said, you're getting up to our all-time highs. It's logical. It's logical. Could be taking profits. All right, let's go back to the charts. All right, Bitcoin's currently sitting at 1095. And let's go over to the USDT dominance. We'll take a look at that. All right, so one of the things that we did talk about yesterday was the 200 SMA. All right, so that was a pretty key level to hold. And it did hold. We still actually haven't closed underneath the 200 SMA. Nice little wick. Really starting today. Let's go to the 4 hour here because it did push up to about 110.5. We talked about that for Bitcoin. So on the 4 hour, not looking great. And what does this mean? What would this mean? Well, this means for me, when we come back up to the 200 to test it, I need to get out of my position. We got a lot of the moving averages converging here at about 4.8. So if USDT dominance pushes back up, Bitcoin pushes down a little bit, definitely, a good indication for me. Go ahead and close that one out. Live to fight another day. We'll wait for the next setup. Now, that being said, on the daily right now, we didn't actually officially get a close. Yeah, we still got a long time for that. Looks like about 6.5 hours or so. This could hold up on the daily at least, but the 4 hour not looking as great. So it's a little bit of indecision. Like I said, it's probably safer for me. Once we get a little bit of a pullback for BTC, just go ahead and close that one out, and I'll wait for the next one. But what we're looking at here, we have been following this channel for quite some time on USDT dominance, and we were maintaining that channel. It's not broke till it's broke. Well, it looked like we might be broke. All right, so get on the bottom side of that channel, not ideal, but we did know that the likelihood is for it to break to the downside, right? That would mean that the momentum for the USDT dominance right now would be to the downside, maybe retest this area again for support. If that does happen, then of course the inverse relationship with Bitcoin, that could mean some more potential upside. All right, so you do want to see, like on the daily, you want to get rid of or get out of all the moving averages, obviously just all this junk right here. If you do break to the downside of this, then yeah, I would say it's pretty clear that we're going to continue our move down. And again, inverse relationship, that would open up the door for some positive moves for Bitcoin and the total market cap and all of crypto in general. Okay, really, this is tied to the entire cryptocurrency market, so understand that as well. I know I equate it to Bitcoin, but it does open up the door for the rest of the market. So what are we looking at here? Oh man, so this is fighting me in terms of my my thought process. Clear rejection off that trend line for the total market cap. Interesting. Sometimes you should look at both before you talk about one. So yeah, you got a nice little rejection off of there. That's pretty clear. And then USDT dominance, still has an opportunity to hold up. So gives me some hopium. If we do continue to ride this kind of trend line down, continue with the rejection, it could be a little hopium for me to have a small pullback for Bitcoin. So again, there's a lot of indecision going on, right? We don't have some clear, I wouldn't say it's very clear. What makes this clear is you break this trend line. All right, break the trend line, come down, retest, then you look for that continuation. That would clear up a lot of things for me in terms of what I'm looking at right now, because the trend line, the trend is your friend till the end. Nice rejection off of there. So gives me a little hopium right now for my position. We'll see if that plays out. But especially if we get under this horizontal here, that would definitely make me feel a little bit better. 200 still sitting well below. That's at about 3.8 right now, 3.09, just above our horizontal that we came down to retest, which we were talking about for quite some time. But yeah, that's tough. That's a descending broadening wedge right there. If you were to look at it, should theoretically break to the upside. Theoretically, you got some moving averages underneath of you. How well they play into the total market cap, who knows? But that being said, they are. They're here. They're right here, just below you with the price action. You do have a nice horizontal at about 3.17. So that would be, I'd say, ideal for me in my position, just knowing that I do have a short open. to come back down, retest 3.17 on the total market cap. And then if USDT dominance decides it wants to hold up for me, that would be the ideal scenario, especially if we close above on the daily, above the 200 on the daily. It gives me a little hopium to at least come back up, retest some of these levels here where the moving averages are, the 21 and the bottom of this trend line. That would be, let me go ahead and extend this out just a little bit. There we go. So yeah, if we come back, retest that, got a nice little horizontal, that would be ideal for me in terms of what I'm doing right now. But we shall see. We're kind of a wait and see. Like I said, Bitcoin itself, you know, we're kind of, there we go, kind of in the middle right now. In the middle, I mean, pretty much right in the middle of a nice horizontal resistance, area of resistance, and then we have a nice little level of support, both horizontal previous day low as well as this trend line. So we're kind of just waiting and seeing, to be honest with you. All right. Let's go over the chat real quick. Let's say what's up to the peeps. I seen some of you roll in here a little bit late. I saw Joe and Trade Intuition. I saw your fam roll in. Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing your people. That is much, much appreciated. Give you a nice little shout out, man. If you guys aren't following Joe, please go check him out. Who else we got here in the chat? Let's scroll down a little bit. Crypto Squid, say who's printing today? Squid is always printing every day. He's crushing it. All set. What up, what up? Let's see. Oh boy, we just got the skip, man. This happens every time I start moving down so I can give some shout outs. Unbelievable. All right, let's scroll back up. Scrolling. Got things flowing. Andrew Cameron, GM, what up to you, bro? Call me Dave. All right, I think I gave you a shout out already. I recognize that one. Let's see. FJ Trading in the house. My man just dropped a fire setup. He was up over 100% on one of his trade signals, man. Thank you. Appreciate you being here, man. He's doing good stuff. He has a channel also. Go check him out. Always going to push people. I want to see people spread their wings and fly, baby. I want to see you grow just like me. Just cover it. Hey, mate. What up to you, man? Good to see you. And Mark Dutch in the house. He's just Dutchy now. Okay. Changing it up on me. He said, am I the only naked person in the room? Maybe. You probably got some people in the pot, so maybe half naked. You got some friends in the house probably. All right. Who else we got in here? Moon Gods, turn this around for TradeFly. Nah, it's all good, man. Like, it is all good right now. Like I said, it's small capital play. You know, I did not wait. I was not a patient man. When I entered that. So that is, you know what? That is them teaching me a lesson. Follow your rules. All right. You guys, you're going along this journey with me. I do make mistakes. It's not a real big mistake. Low capital. It's all right. But, you know, I didn't really follow my own rules. Usually I like to see that liquidity get hit. When you get that liquidity hit, then you want to see us reestablish the range below. I say it all the time. Say it every day. I was too aggressive. I was too excited to get in the position. And then I had a plan to get out of the position. And I slept. It happens. All right, who else we got in here? We got American Toaster. What? What happened to French Toaster? Hola, my friend. Good to see you, man. What is the quack going on? Username. You have to explain it. I'm having a blank right now on what the quack is about. Darren does things. What up to you, man? Good to see you. Busy catching up a bit behind. Yeah, I'm busy, man. It's tough to keep up, no doubt. Andrea, what up to you? Hello. American Toaster for the win. Man, everybody's changing their names, man. Dutchies, he dropped the mark. Toaster, he's now American Toaster. Drew, what up to you? Good morning. Smash the lucky number 13. I appreciate you. Guys, that's the way. If you guys want to hook me up, you can smash that like button, man. That helps out a lot. I would truly appreciate that. All right, just checking here. I haven't been good, so I'm streaming on Facebook as well. I have not been good about checking the chat there. Actually, I've had people hit me up a couple times. I'm like, oh, my bad, man. I'm not even monitoring the chat. So there you go. There's your shout out. If you're watching on Facebook, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Yeah, simulcast, man. Doing it big. Crypto Princess, what up to you? Good to see you. Drew, how you doing? I think I might have already got you, but say what up to you. David Brumbelow, what up, bro? All right, scrolling down. Let them. I want to see how they're gonna add jobs. Yeah, man. I mean, the data is what the data is, man. I don't even know what's true anymore, to be honest with you. Hey, Albert, what up to you, man? Good to see you in the chat. Dylan VA, trade intuition raid. Let's go. Appreciate you. That whiff is looking really good. Yeah, man. Yeah, you had a nice call on that. Let's go. Dave P TI raid. Let's go. All right, I'm seeing that TI raid thing go now. Here it is. I appreciate y'all. There's trade intuition. There he is. Melissa, what up? Hope everyone is having a beautiful day. All good. All good. I'm in good spirits. Jeanette, what up to you? Good morning. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. We need fireworks on BTC. Which way you want to see it go? Yeah, I mean, really, for BTC, you want to see the breakout retest of that horizontal level we've been looking at. Here we go. Dave P, what up, what up, what up? Man, you guys are flowing the chat. It's hard to keep up right now. All right. Toaster tariffs. All right. Let's go. Danny Quest, what a yo. What up, man? Good to see you, bro. That's my dude. I know I've told you before. That's my dude from back in the day. All right. Just looking at the whiff setup right now for the daily DJ, and that one's down. In the negative still. All good, though. Let's go ahead and get back to the charts. I'm going to close out some of these windows here, and let's get this going. Let's start looking at some stuff. All right, so the NASDAQ looking good. That's up 1% today. We did come back, retested the high of the range. Off, and away it goes. Ain't no coming back for that, man. So we talked about some key levels here. I'll rehash those just really super quick for you guys just tuning in. Really, this was one of them. We had a nice little support level. All it was the top of the range. All right, then we found another little level here. That level is the value area low and a pretty clear horizontal at about 19,186. 19,186, we are looking for that 200 to work its way up, and then add a little confluence there, all right? Add a little reason for a bounce if we pull back, okay? So it's a very big if. Again, wouldn't be enticed to take a long right now, just knowing that we are pushing up, and away for the NASDAQ. I'd be waiting for a little bit of a cool down. If you're in, you're good. I wouldn't worry too much about that. Man, I don't have any water. Whew. All right, so the 0.382, that's at about 18,221. That was the key level we were looking at. You do have that gap there, but the 200 is starting to get above it. So I think you're going to get that bounce before you get to the 382. But still, nice little horizontal level in terms of price action there. Bullish continuation coming down to the 382. All good. So one of the things for you to think about, all right? So you're looking at the NASDAQ. You're like, man, it's bullish AF, and, you know, I don't know, you know, what should I do at this point? Well, don't freak out is what I'm saying right now. Do not freak out if you come down to the 0.382. All right, so technical perspective, that is kind of your bullish continuation. You know what? This is going to move up. Let me update this a little bit. This is moving up because the price action is moving up. And what you might find is if the price action continues to work its way up and the 382 works its way up, it could actually bring you back around to the 200 SMA, building a little confluence, and that would be ideal. Think about this. If the price continues to work its way up, all right, let's say it works up a little bit higher, you know, over time, and we start bringing ourselves back up here, like, check this out. Now you're building some real confluence between value area low, horizontal level, 200 SMA. If it works its way up, now that's quite a ways to go. That is quite a ways to go over time, but that is something that you're going to continue to monitor and keeping ahead of the charts, right? Like, let's say if this happens, then this happens, right? And what can we do from it? I would love to see that for a multitude of reasons. If we continue to push up to about 21.6, which is, again, a ways to go. I'm not saying that's going to happen anytime soon. Good for my portfolio, one. But two, that would bring that 382 up, build some confluence there with a couple key levels. I would like that a lot more. I would like that a whole lot more. And that would really, really kind of, you know, entice me if it were to pull back to put some orders down there. So, but right now, not the case. 382 is a little bit lower. But again, as price action works up, this fib level is going to work up. And that's just something I want you to keep an eye on. Right now, NASDAQ looking great. Coming back down. This is your level of support right now. And that's at about 22 to about 22.2. Nice level of support. It's very clear. It's already been respected. So if we were to pull back, that's really where I'm expecting you to bounce. And then the game changes a little bit if you get to the bottom side of that, okay? You get to the bottom side of the 21, you get to the bottom side of this area of support right here, that will change the game. And then you are potentially looking for that move a little bit lower. You do have the POC right here, but it's not a naked POC. That's been reached out and touched in all the wrong ways, but you can look at that, the previous POC. But this area down here at about 19.16, again, you got to get under the 21. You got to get under this level. That is where you could potentially look for a little bit of a quick short, right? But the pattern is bullish. So again, in and out pretty quick, down right here. That's where you close, and then you start looking for that long position back up. So that's some opportunities there for you on the NASDAQ, keeping that quick. SPX, we're going to skip that one today. Let's go ahead and look at Apple, because we have been following Apple quite a bit here recently. And I mean, we got that bounce out of the this channel, the lower trend line, as well as this area support, as well as the 618. That was looking nice. I was not till yesterday, full transparency. I think it was yesterday that I pointed all of this out. It's not really what we were looking at. I didn't do the fib retracement, and we didn't really say, hey, here's a really key area of support yesterday, which was after the move. So keeping it 100 with you guys, was after the move that we were like, hey, like there's a lot more lining up in this area than what I was really looking at. I was keeping it very basic. I was looking at this channel that was going up and right, and I was like, hey, two things you're gonna look for right here. One is see if we get that bounce off of that, and we did. We get a bounce off of that, which was good. Bullish continuation, looking all right now. But the other thing, I was like, hey, keep your eyes peeled, because if we break out and retest, then we could be looking for a move to the downside here. But that's just not the case right now. Apple looking good. I think some data for Apple came out here as well, which was relatively bullish. The numbers were looking okay. So that does make a lot of sense in terms of seeing that move to the upside here for Apple. I'm sure that people were front running in that. They knew the data before we knew the data. There's no doubt about it. But Apple right now looking good. You are at a little bit of a horizontal. Okay, you do have a little horizontal, a little bit of a range here where you're at here. You could see some resistance just based on looking at the price action. Hey, where do we have support? Where do we have resistance? Right here. 213. You're gonna have a little bit of resistance, but if you break through that 213, man, that's gonna be an easy move up, I think, to the 200, and that is up at about 223. So that's what you'll be looking for. So let's see here. We got that bounce. That's good. But what am I talking about right here? Just a little move up, little rejection, boom, retest. You could take that move up to the 200 is basically what I'm talking about right now for Apple. If you clear where the 0.382 is right now, I know this is a fib retracement, but again, this is a nice horizontal, the 200. I'm just going to keep it up there, and I'm just referencing it as what's on the chart right now. This is not truly the 0.382 when you're looking at the price action going up right now, because that's a fib retracement right now. So you would actually do the opposite here, but I want to leave this. I'm going to leave this up right now. Just understand I see the horizontal in terms of the price action. So getting over that 200, again, if you're looking at that, a little breakout retest of the 200, then man, you're looking for some moves up a little bit higher here. Definitely could have a nice move for Apple, but you got to get over top of that 200, I think, is going to be your line in the sand in terms of getting some of that real bullish movement up. When you're talking about 240s to about 250s, that could be on the table for Apple, no doubt about it. I mean, it's staying in this channel, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? So right now, it's staying in this channel. It's honoring that channel. This thing could keep running. There's no doubt about it. All right, that is Apple. Let's go over to Ethereum real quick. Get the biggies out of the way, right? That's right. My whole thing shifted. Forgot about that. All right, 25.76 for Ethereum right now. Looking all right. Looking all right. We came down to some key levels, but it's holding up. You got a nice little breakout retest of this zone right here, which is where you can see a lot of price action, and that was at about 23.91. I remember saying it too. We got it pretty much came back down. It's like you're at a key level. You're at a line in the sand right now for Ethereum. You wanted to stay above that. It did, and then it jumped, right? Like I think people started flowing in because liquidity is off the table at this point. If you're looking at Ethereum, all the liquidity was down here. That's off the table. So once that's off the table, there's no real driving factor in terms of price action and go back down and chase liquidity because it's gone, right? So at that point, you get back into the range, right? So this really validates a lot of my process in terms of what I'm saying. Go get that liquidity, reestablish the range, and then that's when you're looking for some upside movement. for Ethereum. And here you go. So you got liquidity off the table, reestablish the range, and then upside movement. And it took, I mean, I probably would have got out. I remember talking about this area here as resistance. Likely, like if I were in an ETH long, so I think I remember talking about this as well. If I was in an ETH long, this is where I would have been getting out. And then we look for the breakout retest, reestablish above this area, and then you play that game again, okay? So breakout, retest, point of control, all the averages are underneath of you. Check. Now you've cleared liquidity. All right, so what you don't want to see is clear liquidity to the top side here and then get below these moving averages and the POC. If we stay above that, then you got upside potential for Ethereum for days. All right, so you're coming back up to the value area high. That's almost going to be a given if you stay above this level right here, and that key level is going to be at about 25.40, maybe even a little bit further down to about 25. We talked about 25 being that happy place for Ethereum. Maintain over 25, looking good for Ethereum. What you would like to see right now, like if you're like, okay, how do I cross-reference it? How do I cross-check? What am I looking at? You want to see Bitcoin consolidate at a minimum. Yes, you would like to see Bitcoin move in a positive direction. That would be great. But at a minimum, if you see that consolidation for Bitcoin, that opens up the door. We've talked about this time and time again, but now we're seeing it, right? You get that move up for Bitcoin, then it starts to consolidate, opens up the door for some whack-a-mole on some of the altcoins, all right? You can start getting some movement now for some of these alts, and what you'll see is they'll just pop on different days. So it won't necessarily be all at once. Like you're going to see some of these meme tokens really rock if Bitcoin continues to consolidate where it's at right now. So that opens up the door for Ethereum as well. That's pretty much what we've been seeing here historically. So let's hope we can see some normalcy in the market again. But it's never been so bullish, man. Let's be real in terms of, you know, what's going on with the government, you know, regulation, all that. I mean, it's just day in and day out. Some big company is getting into crypto, or a government official is saying we need to go in on digital assets. We need to front run this. We need to be the leader in terms of the US. So, you know, here nor there, you know, when you get down to some of these key levels, like we did for, you know, Cardano or AVAX, like, you know, if you guys are into any of the altcoins, you could be BTC maxis, and that's cool. I respect that. But you get down to those buy zones that we kind of had laid out for you guys. It's not a bad opportunity, you know, to kind of add to some bags, like, and, you know, hold a little. That's okay. And that's what I did. We got down to a buy zone. I thought that was a key level for me. I bought some, you know, not a lot, you know, I only dropped about a G in there, but, you know, it's a nice little spot buy, and it's not, I think we got potential to move up to 73 easily for me. So that's a Cardano, AVAX. We talked about this. Not going to beat it up too much, but I think a move up to 20 makes a lot of sense. But I think I'm going to hold AVAX a little bit longer. We've talked about this. I'm not going to beat it up. I just think long term it's got some utility, and I would really love to see it get above this level at about 28. If it gets above, breakout retest, you got the 200, you got this horizontal level of resistance, breakout retest of that area of about 28. I see it moving up to this trend line. Now that is where I'm 100% going to close a position. I'm not even going to think twice about it. I'll live to fight another day, or basically wait for the next setup. Now, if it pushes through, then I'm going to look out for that retest, right? Same thing you're looking at here. Breakout retest key level, breakout retest of this trend line. Then we can look at pushing up to about 55, somewhere in that area. But again, this is going to be a little bit longer of a hold for me. I'm in. I got my level. I'm good. I told you I will ladder into this one because I think long term it's going to be here to stay. Now, when you zoom out, let me be fully transparent. This chart doesn't look great for AVAX. It really doesn't. But you can see, like, hey, we get these big moves up, push down, little bumps, little, you know, just little ones, and then massive move. And then here we are again. All right. So it showed you this pattern somewhat before. The problem is, like, do we have a couple more to go? Like, are we going to see a couple more little blips on the radar here before we actually get that move up? But I still think there's a good opportunity here because they have deals in place. All right. These deals are in place. Again, it's utility. I'm not going to shill it too hard. That's just know that I like AVAX. And that could blow up in my face because that happens in crypto. Let's go over to, let's go back to the traditional market. Let's look at Tesla. All right, here you are. So yeah, you're at kind of a key level. We did push up. So that's one thing you want to see. You want to get over that 200. And again, I'm looking for that breakout. Really retested this level right here at about 312. You might have to raise that up a little bit though, honestly. This was a horizontal, but now like really where the 200 is, I'm gonna say you're gonna have to push that up probably to about 314. Yeah, I would push that up just a little bit, probably about 314. Get a little breakout, retest of that area, and then you're looking for that move up to you know, the trend line. Very kind of similar setup, right? That trend line, that upper trend line, you see that that kind of consistently on both larger and smaller time frames for a lot of these setups right now. But anyways, yeah, about 314 to about really about 315. That's kind of your area you'll be looking for in terms of you want to stay above that. Stay above these moving averages. When I say those, you're talking about the 50, the 200, the 21 is quickly working its way down. All right, not ideal, but it's all converging into this one area. So stay on top of that area. That's going to be a good sign for you. If you're looking for that bullish continuation on Tesla, move up to 332 is probably going to be your first line in the sand, right? You're just looking at the horizontal price action. Support, resistance, it's broken between the two right there. All right, it's very clear horizontal. That's probably where you'll get that rejection. And then you're looking at, say, okay, cool, we come back down here, get that bounce, hit an area of support where you have confluence. This could move up, so keep tracking it. Could push up 318, 319, and then you look for that move ultimately up to this upper trend line here, and that's probably more likely where you would close that one out. In terms of horizontal level, 361, but really, my eye is on this trend line right now. I'm more conservative, so that's kind of what I'd be looking for. That move itself, let's kind of go up a little bit. Let's say 320 would be an entry, and then your exit would be a little bit closer to 344. That's about a 7.5% move. It's not a bad move, especially when you're talking in TradeFly. All right, check out the charts. Love how TradeFly says similar. I don't know. Do I say it funky? I got weird pronunciations of things. Why? Because from Maryland originally. All right, so if you guys don't know, Maryland is what they call the Mason-Dixon line. All right, for your history buffs. We are confused people. We don't know if we're north, we don't know if we're south, and our language and the way our dialect is sometimes gets very mixed between southern and northern. I will say things that sound sometimes like I'm from up north, and then I will say y'all, and things that really sound like I'm from the south. And it is like this hodgepodge. And everybody's like, where are you from? I can't figure that out. All right. So scrolling over to the chat here. Oh, chat disconnected. Hopefully I'm good. ETH BTC chart is main reason for my bigger spot position. TradeFly hates ETH. I don't hate ETH. I don't hate it. I need to be clear about that. I just don't think it's what it once was. That's the big thing there, right? Because when I first got into crypto, right, we're talking, you know, probably 4 years ago or so, it was the narrative was there's Bitcoin, there's ETH, and there's everything else. And for a long time, I think that was very true. I think ETH, you know, a lot of things are built on ETH. They got the smart contracts going. There's still a lot of utility there. But the problem is that so many other options have become available that are faster, cheaper, and I think are getting a little bit more love in terms of innovation. All right, so people are continuing, you know, to build these different projects, and they're becoming powerhouses. Like, I mean, Solana's grown so much. There's different utilities for different tokens. It's almost like there is a saturation in the market, if that makes sense, right? It's like you have options for everything. If you want to do this, go check this one out. If you want to go do this, go to this one because it does that better, right? And Ethereum was kind of like that conglomerate. Ethereum reminds me of GE. The big dog in the space, man. It ain't the biggest dog. It's a big dog in the space, but like it's slow moving, reliable for the most part. Like, you know, you don't usually go wrong with the GE microwave. you're going to get what you asked for there. But that being said, like, it's like, I don't know. It's not the master of anything. I don't know. I could be wrong. But the other thing that, with ETH is the price action. And taking the price action, in comparison to Bitcoin, in comparison to the other altcoins, like, where should it be? What should it be doing? I'm looking at it from an investment perspective. From an investment perspective, because I really don't care too much about the blockchain itself and what it's doing. It does provide utility. Checks a box for me. Cool. I will invest in it, or I will be open to investing in it. But it just hasn't moved relative to the rest, or really to Bitcoin, right? Because think about when you were looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, everybody said a few years ago Ethereum was going to outperform Bitcoin in the long run. That's what everybody was saying. Be real with yourself. 3 years ago, everyone said over the course of the next 5 years, everyone said Ethereum was going to outperform Bitcoin. Tell me I'm wrong. Because, in terms of the content I was consuming and looking at, in terms of pretty much what everybody was talking about, they were more bullish on Ethereum over the long term than they were on Bitcoin. Times have changed, have they not? Bitcoin has clearly outperformed Ethereum. All right, you start looking at it on the charts and you're looking at, okay, cool, like, where are we at relative to the all-time high? Where are we at? Like, looking at the charts, the Bitcoin chart is better. You can skew the numbers, right? You can take a specific date and you can be like, hey, from this date to this date, Ethereum was better. Yeah, cool, maybe. But, like, if you look at what's healthier, what is continue that trajectory in a positive direction in terms of the price action, it's Bitcoin all day. It's not close. We should be looking right now at a $4,000 minimum, $4,000 Ethereum. I'll argue with you all day if you think otherwise. It should be at minimum at $4,000. That is the reason I'm not like Ethereum. I'm not saying there's no growth potential. I think there's plenty of potential. You can still have a very nice investment if you're playing your key levels. If you're coming down here and you were, watching, and we were talking about, what are we on right now? The daily, I think it was about, this is Tesla. Let's go to Ethereum since we're talking about Ethereum. What was it? About, down here. So these buy zones, man, giving y'all some fire buy zones. We were talking about it here. Like, yeah, cool, man. Hell yeah. From this time right here, April of 25. Sorry, I got to get the chart up for you. If we're talking about from right here on Ethereum and you invested in Ethereum, cool, man. Good on you. Like, cool. You got a nice little spot there. Technicals lined up for you. Nice little investment, man. You pretty much 2x your investment, right? Is that fair? Let me see. Not 2x, 50%. All right, so 50%, right? That's cool. I got it. But what I'm talking about is when we're looking at Ethereum, look, man, this is just relatively speaking, if you're going to maintain the trajectory of the chart, you should be up here. And when I say it should be a minimum 4,000, it's like, hey, we should have broken this area right here at 4,000, and we should have retested that area. The move should have looked like this. Came up, came down, right? And working our way back up. That's what the move should look like for Ethereum. Yes, you can still make profits. No, yeah, duh. Of course, from here to here, you can make profits all the way up to 4,000. I got it. I completely understand that. But this is the area you should be above. Because that's pretty much what Bitcoin did. It came back, retested the top of the range, and then continuation. And it actually set another all-time high. So it really looked like this. And then it came down. And now it's going back up. But at minimum, we should look like this for Ethereum. And that's why I'm just not as bullish on it, right? Like when people ask me like, hey, like, should I go 50% Bitcoin, 25% Ethereum? That for me is no. Not anymore. Because it acts like most of the other altcoins. You can get the same gains if it's not an ecosystem thing for you and you're not using it, if you're not actively using it to transfer money, NFTs, whatever the case, you are strictly investing. You're strictly investing, then why? Why? It was different back in the day too, when everybody had that NFT craze going and they were actually using Ethereum to transact on. It's not as much the case anymore. I would say less than 5% of the people that I talk to in terms of cryptocurrency, less than 5% are holding Ethereum so that they can use it for anything else than investing. Less than 5%. And I would say it's probably lower. All right, so that's my argument for, you know, some of these cryptocurrencies and for Ethereum as a whole. We are not where we should be. 2021, right here. It's not that I hate it. It's just not keeping up. Your better investment was Bitcoin. See the chart? See the difference? Highs. We are above the 2021 highs. We are above the 2021 highs. We never sniffed the 2021 highs for Ethereum. Relatively speaking, let's look at it. Relatively speaking, let's kind of take that median right there. Let's go back to Ethereum real quick. So there you go. Like, this is probably your median right here between the price action at about 32. You're still below that. Bitcoin, clearly above. Matter of fact, retested that area and then continuation. So Bitcoin's stronger on the chart. You can give me some kind of like, you know, weird numbers in terms of like, hey, percentage this, percentage that. That's cool. But I look at the charts and I'm just looking at the trajectory of the chart. This one looks better than Ethereum. All right. Thank you, username, for getting me on that rant. I appreciate you. Let's look at one more. What's something we haven't looked at? NVIDIA. I haven't looked at NVIDIA. Well, there you go, guys. Another one. I'm telling you. There's some sauce. There's some sauce here. Came down to the golden pocket. I haven't really looked at NVIDIA. Haven't invested in NVIDIA, so just full transparency. Not something I was looking at. And of course, you can see here the horizontal. Had that little gap there. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, it came all the way down to the platinum pocket, but really, $100 was the level that I think I gave to you guys. So $100, you guys would be up, what, 58%? But where are we going? What are we doing here? NVIDIA. Ethereum's on my mind now. I'm not taking a long right now. Real talk. So you're pushing up. Looks good. Looks healthy. It's kind of what you want to see. Nice little pullback. Continuation. It's a nice move up. Your moving averages, NVIDIA looks good. If you're looking at like trying to get back in, you look at retesting the top of the range. Very simple. Just like you saw for NASDAQ. Simple stuff, man. That's the top of your range. You look for it to cool down at some point, come back down, retest that area. You look for a little long position off of that range. That's about the best you can do right now. I would not take a long, just giving where it's at right now. Wait for that cool down. Wait for it to pull back a little bit. Why buy into a high? Why buy into price discovery? Like, I think it's silly personally. That's just my own 2 cents. You're well above the 200. You would love to see that kind of work up. You got a nice little horizontal here. Let's get this off. All right, it's clouding it up here now. But the 200 right now, I don't think you're going to get that aggressive of a pullback either on NVIDIA. There's no real reason for it. But if you're looking at another zone here with the 200, And then let's actually do a fib off of this area right here. All right, this price action right here. So the low to the high, current high. And this is an assumption. You gotta understand that too, because you don't even know where this is going. You're just saying from the current level. And that gives you the 382 down here about the 200. I like that a lot. So I'd probably mark that on your charts at about 132. All right, so this is, again, getting ahead of the charts, right? Just like this. Getting ahead of the charts, you had the 618, you had a nice little horizontal. Now what are we doing? We're doing the same thing. All right, but we are incorporating the moving averages into this. All right, so the moving averages are showing you right now, the 0.382 is a nice logical area to get a bounce. Not saying it's going to go there. You guys are going to learn that about me. I am not predicting by any means where NVIDIA is going to go. I am just predicting if it comes to this level, where can you see price action? Where can you take a trade? You're watching this channel. We are trading on this channel. All right, just understand that. It is not, you know, us just saying, hey, here's your long-term hold. Here's your long-term hold on that. Let's see, getting a little push up for whiff right now. We're going to go ahead and close that out. That's going to be the second day in a row you guys have won the daily DGen. Looks like about 8%. Unfortunately, my other trade's upside down, but that's okay. We're still in that one. We're still ways to fight out of that. I'll just kind of work through it, and I'll keep you guys tracking on what we do there. Let's go ahead and look at the win. We got 9.8% for whiff. Another one for the good guys. Daily DGen. I saw it creeping up, man. I was keeping an eye on the number here. When I saw it go 0.9, I was like, okay, it's cool. It's moving up. Good opportunity to get out, get into the end of the show. That's 2 wins in a row for you guys, the good guys, for the daily DGen. Let's go. All right. So I think that about wraps it up, man. We started at 10 o'clock, so we went about 5 over. Looking good in the hood. Let's see what you guys have to say. I went on my rant. I can only imagine what you guys have to say. I will look at that. All right, scrolling down. Piper's in the house. What up, bro? Good to see you, man. Hope all is well. Hope all is well with you, man. We got to catch up. All right, FJ said he agrees. I don't know if he agrees with me or someone else. I went on a rant. No doubt about it. Piper, IKEA. I like IKEA, man. We were just talking about it the other day. We've had the same furniture from IKEA for like 13 years now. Cheap. We got our money's worth, no doubt about it. I'm reading this book called Markets Never Forget, but People Do. Seems interesting. I'll take notes for you guys. Yeah, drop that in Pumpamentals. You know it. Let's go. All right, I'm gonna wrap this one up. I hope everybody has a great day. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. As always, I would appreciate that. And as always, trade safe, be safe, and I'm out.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. I
That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying, turn them to a game. Take the best thoughts saying, put them on display. On repeat in your brain till you're feeling no more pain. Never slow yourself down, you can do some more. Push past all the pain and you'll find a door. Open it up and finally explore everything that you thought you could never do before. And even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go.